Alright. This is mine and Devontae's presentation on King Lear. The play begins with two noblemen discussing the fact that King Lear is going to divide his kingdom.
Edmund begins his campaign to discredit Edgar by forging a letter and about his father's death. King Lear is spending the first portion of his retirement in Gonero's castle. Gonero complains to Oswald that King Lear is becoming a nuisance.
Cassius, which is Kent, which is disguised as peasant. He accepts. He asks King Lear to be in his service, and King Lear decides to accept his offer. King Lear he sends Kent to deliver the message to Gloucester, and and then in this one he the fool is telling Lear that he's making a mistake. Kern tells Edmund that Gloucester that the Duke Cornwall and his wife are coming to the castle, and also that there's some issues between the Duke of Cornwall and the Duke of Albany. Kent meets Oswald in Goneril's house. Oswald doesn't really recognize him. This is outside of the castle. And Kent he jones on Oswald about being vain, boastful, and pretty much being rude to him.
As Ken is sleeping, Edgar enters, barely escaping the mob that's trying to hunt him down, and he's afraid that he's gonna get caught soon. Lear the Fool in the night, arriving at Gloucester's castle.
Hold on. Lear asks for Reagan to shelter him, but he refuses. He complains about Goneril and fails. He curses her. He goes off on her, curses her up. Alright. A storm rages. Lear's in vain and seeking Lear in vain. King Lear. Kent runs into one of King Lear's knights.
King Lear is wandering around in a storm, cursing the storm. Cursing and challenging the storm to do its worst.
They were back inside the castle. Gloucester speaks to Edmund. Gloucester recounts how he became uncomfortable when Reagan, Goneril, and Cornwall shut Lear out in the storm.
The fool runs outside the hovel, claiming that there's a spirit inside the house. The spirit turns out to be Edgar in his disguise as Tom Bellum.
Uh, Inside Gloucester's castle, Cornwall vows revenge against Gloucester, whom Edmund has betrayed by showing Cornwall a letter that proves Gloucester's secret support of the French invasion.
But
Alright. Gloucester, Kent, Lear, and the Fool are getting shelter on Gloucester's property. Gloucester tells Kent that he has overheard the plot to kill Lear.
Oswald brings word that Gloucester has helped. Oh. Gloucester has helped Lear escape to Dover. Gloucester is found and brought before Reagan and Cornwall.
Alright. Edgar, presented with the horrifying sight of his blinded father, he's led by an old man who has been a tenant to both Gloucester and Gloucester's father for 80 years.
Goneril and Edmund arrive outside her place, and is surprised that Albany did not meet them on the way.
The gentleman informs Kent that the armies of both Albany and the Lake Cornwall are on the march, which means that they're going to war, presumably to fight against the French troops.
The doctor comes and says that Lear needs to sleep. That's why he's acting crazy.
Alright. Oswald tells Reagan that Albany's army has set out. Goneril is a better soldier out of the Albany Goneril. Reagan is extremely curious about the letter that Oswald carries from Goneril to Edmund. Oswald refuses to show it to her.
Edgar leads Gloucester toward Dover. Edgar pretends to take Gloucester to the cliff, telling him that they are going up steep ground, and that they can hear the sea.
Cordelia speaks to Kent. She shows his real identity to her, but he wishes to remain a secret to everyone else.
Reagan asks Edmund if he loves Goneril, and if he was in her bed.
Battle begins. Edgar leads Gloucester to the shelter of a tree and goes into battle to fight him on Lear's side.
Gentlemen,
A gentleman rushes in carrying a bloody knife. He announces that Goneril has committed suicide. She fatally poisoned Reagan before she died. The two bodies were carried in